This is a show where the spirit has control. Straight talk, no chaser. So listen up close, get the medicine for your soul. Straight talk, no chaser. Telling you the truth before we hit the truth. Straight talk, no chaser. Come get all the blessings God got for you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Talk No Chaser. I'm the host, Pastor Marcus Picard. We're going to continue our health introducer to you. Our guest has been a chiropractor since 2005. She's an active participant in the Georgia Chiropractic Association and ABCA. Everywhere she goes, she's telling everybody about the benefits of chiropractic, and she's growing the profession by making constant referrals to Life University. Her office serves as a continuing educational center for upcoming chiropractors. The owner of Back to Genesis Chiropractic in Marietta. We want to welcome to the Straight Talk No Chaser, Dr. Deborah Little. Welcome to the show, Dr. Little.
Thank you, Pastor Picard. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, doing well. Now, you know what? I said ABCA. That's the American Black Chiropractic Association.
That's correct, yes.
She's a very active part in that. There's times we've been in the office, she made sure we went. And she made sure that we get some culture, some I guess taking the benefits of this association, because we have so many that we can be a part of. This is one also that we all need to come join and see what's happening. I know we got American Black Chiropractic as the name, but we accept all people that want to come and be with us. So, Dr. Little, we've been trying to get this together. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Now, I wanted the address is, correct me if I'm wrong. No, you go ahead and give it to me. I don't want to mention it wrong.
Our address is 3812 Austell Road, Marietta, Georgia, 30008. So, yeah, that's our address. Back to Genesis.
I'm glad you said it because I had 3815 written down, but it's 3812 Austell Road.
3812 Austell Road, Marietta, Georgia.
All right. So, guys, we won't delay it any longer. Dr. Little, by the way, has been highlighted in the fall writings at Life University, done by Miss Valerie Smith. Great article. But I'm not going to read the title because we're going to get to that title in a minute. Because you started chiropractic school as an untraditional student. We both did, actually. I wasn't 21, 22 running in there, all bushy, bright eyes and bushy tail. I lived the life a little bit. And but yours is unique to you, though. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, first I want to make a correction. The article was written from the Georgia Chiropractic Association publication.
Okay, my bad.
Yes, I was.
It's all right.
Well, I just wanted to give them their honor. And the question is, how did I get started?
Well, yeah, that too. But what's tell the unique thing about your story about going to chiropractic school. You had challenges that most of us didn't have.
Yes, I had a lot of challenges. I was a single parent of 5 children, 5 daughters. And I was in school during that time, just regular school, not chiropractic school at that time. And I eventually moved to Georgia and attended Life. But when my children were small, when you have small children, of course, somebody gets sick, somebody get a cold, somebody get this or that and the other. And I remember taking them to their pediatricians. Not that I have anything against pediatricians, because they're wonderful, but I used to get bags of medication. And I remember.
Hold on. Your screen is totally frozen.
So when my children would get sick, like one night, one of them got a fever. And I remember I've always believed in the power of prayer, of healing. And so I remember placing my hand on her head and I just started praying. And the fever broke so quickly without Tylenol, without any medical or pharmaceutical intervention. So at that point, I'm like, oh my God, there's some powers here that they're actually being manifested within me. So I was really excited. But moving forward, I eventually moved to Georgia, and I got a job as a manager, and I actually hired a Life University student. And she started
Yeah.
telling me about the wonderful things about chiropractic and how it can heal the body. The body has the ability to heal itself of many things if the interference is removed. So she kept talking to me. So I prayed about it. I'm like, Lord, is this something I'm supposed to do? And he made my path, he made the answer so clear. He made my path clear because I went to the Life University. I just started interviewing students, just random students. I didn't know them. They didn't know me. But God opened them up so they answered so many questions. And I think I went back 3 times. And after that third time, I went to the admissions office, and I remember talking to someone, and she kind of guided my path. So I started out actually at Chattahoochee Tech. I took some classes there. I took the classes that will transfer to Life University just because I didn't think I could afford to go. I didn't know much about the financial aid and loans at that time. So I eventually transferred to Life University and just started going to school. It was a challenge because, again, the lack of money and being a single parent, having to handle the everyday issues of your children, having to handle or worry about how you're going to eat, how you're going to pay rent, how you're going to just survive. And of course, if you're a parent, and I know you are, you had to go up to the school for different things and help these children with all of the problems that they might face. So I had to develop. I didn't have any family here, none. There were times when I would be in my room crying because I didn't know how I was going to make it. I would be in my room crying. I would be in my room praying. So it was real challenge, but something inside of me, I was just so determined because there was never a doctor in my family. So I wanted to break that chain. I knew I had to break that chain. I knew I had to do something, not for me, but not for my children and the rest of my family and people that were around me, or people that would be introduced to me later in life who I could encourage. So it was a very hard road. I remember my youngest daughter, I would go to we would study at night. We would study at 2 or 3 in the morning at each other's houses. And I would just drag her blanket and pillow, and she'd be over in the corner on the floor on somebody's sofa sleeping, and we'd be up studying. So, I mean, the teachers at Life University, they were wonderful. They were really wonderful. I had to get some help with some things because, remember, I don't have a medical background at all. So when it came to chemistry and physics and all of these things, I've heard of them.
Sleepless nights.
Many sleepless nights. It came to a point where I remember I put a sign up wherever I studied was a specific place when I was at home. And on the index card, I wrote, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Wow.
Grades A and B. That's what I put up there. And it's like a miracle because I started actually getting A's and B's because I struggled in the beginning. But there was no option for me to give up. There was none. So that
I tell people about the power of words and how what you look at creates who you are. People don't believe that, but I look at music. I know certain music is set for certain things. If you really want to be adult about it, you don't listen to Tupac. You don't listen to certain songs when you with your significant other, when you with your husband, wife, boyfriend, whatever. You don't put that music on. You got some Luther. You got some Luther. I heard. I was sitting there today. I was going down the road and I hit the what's that? I was turn the radio on. You know, remember that house cleaning music we used to have?
Yeah.
The radio station in Georgia, I guess on Saturday, that's all they play in the morning. I put on Facebook, I said, if you are a real cleaner, you know about house cleaning music. And there's a radio station that has it on.
Exactly. And you're right. It's so important what you put in your mind, what you introduce to yourself, what you go to sleep with if you listen to music going to sleep. I read a lot of books on self-help, self-healing,
Mhm.
even coming up with the name Back to Genesis Chiropractic. I remember sitting in the dark and I remember praying, Lord, what should I name my practice? I have no idea.
Mhm.
And I was reading Samuel and I was Kings um, and I looked at Genesis and it just came to me, Back to Genesis,
Yeah.
just
You
like that.
you started in the right place though. Just looking at the Bible. You started in
Hmm.
the right place. As you go, he'll finish the course, but we got to go. We stop trying to do it on our own because when we
Yeah,
try and hook
yeah,
it up on our own, we can screw it up
yeah,
real bad.
yeah. During that point, that night, I was actually homeless, actually.
Whoa.
Many people don't know about that part. Yeah, I was
No, I didn't
homeless.
know that. All these years I've
And
met Adona guys, I didn't know about her being homeless.
mhm, I I had applied for an apartment. This was after I graduated. I'm sorry, I applied for a loan for a house.
Uh-huh.
And you know, when you're coming out of school and you got all of these loans and you don't have a steady job because I started as an independent contractor, that's
Mhm.
when you work for yourself, but you're someone else is hosting you, but you
Mhm.
still work for yourself.
Mhm.
So I remember someone telling me, there's no way you're going to get that loan for that house. I found the house and everything. And
Mhm.
I remember telling a friend of mine, I said, well, that's not the Jesus I serve. The Jesus I serve says something differently. So
Mhm.
I was sitting there and I would tell you 20 days later, I was sleeping on the floor. We were sleeping on the floor of my house.
Mm.
So things,
Hey,
no one can tell. Yeah, we've been through a lot. We've been
nothing
through,
is too hard for God. I don't care what
yeah,
they say.
yeah. We've been through having to get free food. I remember taking my kids to church a few times to eat.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember when I had that apartment, I asked God because my relatives would come from Chicago. They would come deep. There would be a lot of them. In a two-bedroom, it would be like 16 people. We're just sleeping all day, sleeping all over.
you know that they never ask how many spaces we bring. Everybody coming.
Everybody's coming. It wasn't COVID during that time. And I remember asking God, I said, if you give me something bigger, Father, if you give me something bigger, I promise I'll share it. I promise other people could come and be comfortable in my house. And it happened. It happened just like within months. It happened.
Mhm.
Um, and I was still at that point, I just started out with my practice.
Mhm.
And again, I didn't know how I was going to make the first month rent on my practice. And
Wow.
I remember getting a patient in, and I took care of that patient. I took care of that patient. And I remember the patient's bill, he did not have an attorney, it's personal injury.
Mhm.
And I remember that bill was, I think it was $4,000.
Mhm.
And I didn't know after the case had settled, I wasn't sure if he was going to come and pay me.
Mhm.
And he came right away and he
Wow.
handed me all of this cash, $4,000. And I remember I owed $3,600 for
Look
my
at God.
first month rent. Look at
Look
him.
at God.
He's wonderful. And
Uh-huh.
I even had extra money left over to get, some other things. As far as
Mhm.
my mortgage, I remember I had a little piece of car, and I don't know why they gave me $2,000 on that car, but I remember taking out a title loan, which I don't recommend anyone to do unless you have
Mhm.
to. And I remember closing, and after that title loan, within a week I paid that back. I paid every penny back plus the $200 interest rate. And
Mhm.
so I started my practice, and um, in that practice, I was fortunate enough to have a host doctor who was a Christian also.
Mhm.
That's very important
Yeah.
that,
Who you link up with is important.
yes, oh yes, yes. Very important that that person is equally yoked
Mhm.
because his wife was wonderful. He had a little boy that was awesome. His name was Dr. Karen, James Karen.
Oh, Dr.
And
Kerr. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Karen, that's how we started.
Okay.
And
Never knew the story. Never knew the
yes,
story. Okay.
yes. I met Dr. Karen through one of my exterminators from who was exterminating the apartment. I just kept his number.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, he was wonderful. I mean, he would sit there and we would talk, and he would share things with me and tell me things, and help me in areas that I was struggling with. That's why I tell a lot of my peak students, I am a
Mhm.
peak doctor. That's when we get interns into our clinic,
Mhm.
and they stay with us 3 to 6 months,
Mhm.
and they get a chance to get firsthand experience of how to run an office.
Yeah.
And I will share that knowledge with them, as far as I ask them if they're going to start by themselves, if they're going to become an associate, that means work for a doctor, or if they're going to be an independent contractor, that means pay their portion and still be there with a host doctor. I tell them to try to do the host doctor or try to do the associate so that they can learn, because we learn things in school. We learn things, how do you say, out of
I,
theory. We
yeah.
learn theory in school,
Yeah.
but you actually learn
Application.
practice application. Yes, yes,
Yes. I
yes.
know some people I graduated with stepped out there and thought they had it all together, and they didn't get that training behind them. And
Mm-hmm.
they've come back. They come back, but they had some hard roads because they didn't.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one guy in particular, he I guess I'll say he gave his testimony, because he
Mm-hmm.
went out there and some things happened with the real estate agent, and they left him in the cold, but God
Mm-hmm.
brought him through. So he's
Mm-hmm.
told us that testimony. I tell everybody, especially when it comes to your office, you
Mm-hmm.
see everything and anything here at life
Yes,
at Back to Genesis. I thank God I was one of the peak students.
yes,
I was one of the peak students,
yes.
and sometimes I think I'm still peaking, but but we enjoy chatting, and she'll break it down for you. This is for peak students or any other potential patient. You want a doctor's going to break it down for you. They're going to let you know
Mm-hmm.
simply what's really happening and what's really going on. And if you're a peak student needing someone's going to help you progress and see some of the pitfalls before you get there, Dr. Little, she's done a lot of that for me and other people that's come through the office as peak students. We all talk about it. I can't say enough about you, Doc. You've been just that good to us. But
Thank you. And it's only because God has been that good to me. It's only because He has. Sometimes we laugh at ourselves because we look at what we've gone through, and we look at the younger people,
yeah,
what they go through, and sometimes we try to talk to them, and sometimes they'll listen, and
yeah,
sometimes as young people, they won't. They want to do it
they got it
on
all
their
right here.
own. But yeah, I love them all, though. I love every last one of them. I also participate in what's called Life Force,
Mhm.
and Life Force is a group within Life University. And what we do is we invite people to a weekend. They put them up in a hotel, and they also give them a tour to see if becoming a chiropractor is something that they might want to do.
That's one of them
So
good weekends.
that's why, yeah.
Mm.
hmm So I I enjoy doing that. Whenever I get a young person, be like, "Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, are you in school? You ever thought about becoming a chiropractor?"
Yeah. Doc, we're gonna get
So
into chiropractic. We're gonna get into chiropractic,
mhm,
but Harvey Lillard. People, we don't talk about Harvey Lillard.
mhm,
We talk about the profession, but we don't talk about who's called the first patient of
mhm,
chiropractic. Can
mhm.
you share, because you are also a part of raising money for that scholarship? Uh, can you
Yes,
can
yes.
you tell a little bit about Harvey Lillard and what he means to the profession of chiropractic, and actually tell us what
Mhm.
tell the story. And I know you're gonna tell it anyway. Go ahead.
You know I am.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I belong to the American Black Chiropractic Association. Seems like it's been like 20 years. I started when I was an undergrad in life, and I became chairperson, scholarship chair for about 5 years.
Mhm.
And every year we give out scholarships um, through Harvey Lillard Scholarship. And Harvey Lillard, many people thought Harvey Lillard was a janitor. Harvey Lillard was an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
and one day Harvey Lillard was standing around, standing around joking with that Dee Dee Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
The right one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So yes, he was standing around with Dee Dee, and they were just joking around. And Dee Dee had a book in his hand, and he took it and just gestured, hit him in the back, popped him in the back with the book. And this is how the old school told us, and they were closer to the real story than anybody, a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And he noticed, Harvey Lillard noticed a ringing in his ear. And so I guess that's when Dr. Palmer thought, well, maybe it's something to this. So they agreed to meet, and they agreed for Dr. Palmer to work on him. So he started working on him. I don't know how long it took, but he started noticing some of his hearing being restored. I don't know if all of his hearing was ever restored, but I do know a lot of it was. And as I said, Harvey Lillard, I mean, he was a well-dresser. He had tried a lot of things to restore his healing. He had been to a lot of doctors and such. So that meant he had to be able to pay for them. So he had money. So again, this man was an entrepreneur. And I hate it when they say he was just a janitor.
He's a janitor,
not that
just
there's
there
anything
doing his
wrong
job.
with being a janitor.
He was just a janitor there doing his job that night.
Right, he was right. But I like to give props to people where it belongs. So anyway, that's why we honor him with scholarships to deserving students every year.
Have you did you get an opportunity to speak with, I believe, his granddaughter? Is that his niece that lived in Georgia? Did you get an opportunity to speak with her?
That was his niece. I think that was his niece. We got a chance to what really happened, what really occurred. So within the ABCA, they do have articles within their archives. So if someone is ever interested, they can contact www.abca.com. I'm sorry, www.abcacairo.com, and they can inquire about that, which that is our only Black people's only national organization. And that's why I try to encourage people of color to participate, to join. If they can't actively participate, then just giving them money helps out a whole lot. It helps out a whole lot with the scholarships. And we also have fundraisers wherever we end up going. Every year, ABCA, we have a convention somewhere, whether it's Minneapolis, New Orleans, Puerto Rico. We try to go somewhere, and we try to recruit students as well into Life University's chiropractic program. So, yeah.
And I tell you this, they have a, is it called, I want to call it Black Tie Gala as well. I know you've had one of those before that we participated in.
Yes.
So they have a lot of different things that go on now. Doc, I know you said you lay hands on one of your children. You discovered that you had a gift of healing. Is that what prompted you or made you think of another profession besides MD?
Yes, yeah, it is. Again, I've heard of people saying that naturopaths. I've heard of spiritual healing. I used to, I hear it now and then, but I didn't actually think too much of it until it actually started manifesting itself into our household, into my body. We have a sign, used to have a sign at school, they're still up somewhere, and it says something like from above down, inside out.
From above down, inside out.
So, yeah, yes. And for a lot of us, that means these powers come from God. They don't come from anywhere else. And to us, God is innate. So it comes, he pour all of these healing abilities into us. And with our heart, with our hands, we touch people. Many times when I touch somebody, I'm praying over them because sometimes you don't know what that person's going through.
That's
So
powerful.
I'm praying over them. I have prayed with many people before.
I was getting
And
ready to
so
mention
that
that. I was
power
getting ready to mention
comes
that.
through us. Yes.
This is a
The
praying
power
office.
comes through us until, yes, this is a praying office. As for my house, we honor the Lord. Whatever somebody else does, they'll do it. But as far as my house, so we even have a prayer box. I remember God put it on my heart to get a prayer box. I'm like, a prayer box? I don't know, where do you buy one? And it was so funny because I had a patient. I said, I'm just talking to her. She was an evangelist, actually. And I said, you know, it's funny. It just keeps, God keep putting it on my heart. I keep to get a prayer box. She said, oh, my husband can make that. Just like that. Her husband made the most beautiful prayer box. So when people put prayers in that box, I assure you, they start to manifest. They just start to manifest. And I always get an evangelist to come.
I was going to say, for people that may look at that,
pray over it. Yes.
Yeah. People look at that like, what do you mean put our prayers in the box? We don't read them. We don't read them.
We don't know. I don't read them. No one in my office reads them prayers.
Yeah.
And we shred them.
Yeah. They get shredded. They don't get thrown in the trash for somebody to dig through that later.
Reading your deepest secrets.
But yeah.
Right.
And I've been in many offices. I've never seen a prayer box. Never seen a prayer box like at your office.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I would be happy to see more prayer boxes.
Me too. Especially
I would be happy to see them because, now, wow, yeah, because of the pandemic and everything else. Also, I don't know if I mentioned that we belong. I joined the GCA also. I think every chiropractor should belong to at least 2 organizations, one state organization and one national, because we are active in helping to assure that we can continue to practice our profession without interferences, and that we also get a lot of laws passed that will continues to help us do what we're supposed to do. There are many people who belong to the GCA and who are active members. And again, if you can't be an active member, become a member that gives the money because it takes a lot. We just passed a copay bill so that we can have the same playing field as a medical doctor in terms of if a person has a copay of $35, they can come to you many times. But if they have a copay of $85 and you tell them to come in 3 times a week for 4 weeks, that can be a financial strain. So now we're working on another bill, but we need participants. We need people. It's like we stood on the shoulders of other people who went to jail, who lost their license so that we can practice. So whose shoulders, who's going to stand on our shoulders? So we have to be the
You were saying, Doc, talking about standing, whose shoulders are we standing on? Who's going to stand on our shoulders?
Well, I was saying that many people's shoulders we've stood on. People went to jail and was persecuted and just went through a whole lot. And now other people need shoulders to stand on, and our shoulders should suffice. But we have to be willing to participate, willing to be accountable, willing to be held accountable to our upcoming chiropractors, to each other. And we can only do that as a group. We can only do that if we're unified. You can't do that if you only have a certain handful of people working all the time, burning themselves out so that you have the right to practice. No, this should be a group effort. Yes. So that's why I was saying everyone should at least join their state organization, the state association. I believe each practicing state has one.
Yes.
and they should also belong to a national organization.
Mhm.
So the two that I belong to is GCA, Georgia Chiropractic Association, and ABCA, American Black Chiropractic Association, which we also have students at different schools.
Mhm.
And sometimes they have what's called dinner with the docs, where they invite you in and they feed you all of this food that's not good for you, but it's so delicious. um,
Uh-huh.
no, they do serve some healthy foods too.
Mhm.
And you just sit there and you just let them, it's yourself, but there's other chiropractors there as well
Mhm.
who care enough to spend some time with the students, answering as many questions as they can, just to try to clear the air about chiropractic, because it's hard, it's difficult.
Mhm.
Medical doctors sometimes have the luxury of prescription pad.
Mhm.
Just write a prescription. Oh, you have a headache. Oh, your big toe hurt. Oh, you need whatever. Okay, we have something for that. And a lot of those drugs, of course, come with side effects.
Mhm.
Again, not saying that there's something wrong with all of them. No. If
Mhm.
I break my leg or I need surgery, yeah, I would appreciate it if you take me to your
Now, I'll
yard.
say this too, Doc. Not only she's talking about the meetings they have. Now, I know personally she opens up her office on her personal time and invites students to her office.
Mhm.
So she's not just talking to everybody, she's actually participating and actually being active in recruiting and telling people about chiropractic. And so you hear talking about all these different things. She's going above and beyond the organizations that she's in, because no organization's having her do this. She's taking time out of her schedule, coming down to the office, opening up and feeding them. Don't forget that. And she feeds them. And she begins to just talk about chiropractic. Everybody needs someone to talk to. And she sits there and she always tells us it's gonna be about an hour. 3 hours later, we're wrapping up. Because she doesn't rush you out. She doesn't rush you out. She sits there and she talks to you. And chiropractic has been so big in my life. Chiropractic and I see it helping so many people. My grandmother was the first patient that I've ever heard of that looked like me that went to a chiropractor. There was a black lady that went to a
Wow.
chiropractor. So, and then that's how it became part of our family. But
Mhm.
you as a practicing chiropractor here in Marietta, Georgia, what type of things do you see walking through the door? Because everybody think all we do is backs and necks.
Oh no. People are people, they're real.
Mm-hmm.
Conditions are real.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they walk in our office, yeah, with a neck and back pain or chronic headaches. Sometimes the babies come in with chronic earaches. We've had babies that would have had to have tubes put in their ears had it not been for our adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we see pregnant women,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. I love pregnant mommies adjusting them. It tends a lot of times it makes their pregnancy easier. We've seen women who had a difficult time getting pregnant, but once they
Mm-hmm.
get into chiropractic care and start getting adjusted,
They
especially
go,
that low
oops.
back,
I
they be
go,
like,
oops. I got something I got to tell you, Doc.
I got something right. So we see patients who have cancer, different forms of cancer. We
Mm-hmm.
see patients who have multiple sclerosis, diabetes, high blood pressure, um, HIV,
Mm-hmm.
um, addictions. You see patients, you see, yeah,
Everything,
depression, you see
everything walks
everything.
in.
You see everything. And that's why I say chiropractic isn't just about adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Chiropractic, a lot of times we try to address the whole person. And that's why I said sometimes if someone comes in my office, our office, and asks, can you pray with me? What
Mm-hmm.
we're supposed to say? Heck
Yeah,
yeah. Yes, please, Lord. Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Thank
And
you for
I
this
tell.
opportunity to be able to, be an instrument. My staff, my
Mm-hmm.
staff is wonderful. My
Mm-hmm.
staff is awesome. Um,
Thank you.
it's like you guys, I mean, like you guys were custom made for Back to Genesis Chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do anything without my staff. They're so loving.
Mm-hmm. It's
Um,
funny when we're together. It's like we all
mhm.
play off each other. We all
Yes, yes, yes.
we sometimes outthinking. We be thinking what the other person's thinking. We look at each other.
Yes.
We just start thinking what we're thinking. It's funny. It's funny.
Exactly.
But you're right. When you say that, it seems like we're tailor made. It's
Yes.
like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a form of telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
You already know. And they've been with me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, years. I mean, we're talking 10 years. It's like, don't you guys get tired when we
we want to make happy families. Some days we love it. Some days we look at each other. You better leave me alone today. They ain't a good day. They ain't a good day. But yeah,
you need a moment. You need a Kit Kat, right?
Need a Snicker. Go outside for a minute. Come back. But yeah,
I tried to remember the cruise we went on. Every year we tried to do something together. Mm-hmm. One year we went on a cruise. We had a ball, and a couple of times we went to the mountain. Yes, mm-hmm. Dr. Marcus. We had. Dr. Pastor Marcus.
I didn't make those trips, guys.
We had a nice time. And then we went to the mountains. Mm-hmm. So because of COVID, we couldn't really go anywhere this year. So mm-hmm. I'm asking them, what do they want to do? Do they want to go to the mountains for a few days again? And do they want to go on a cruise? Which one? The mountains?
Yeah, I was going to say.
You went on the cruise. So
we'll keep the cruise.
So hopefully you can come to the next one, our next trip.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they opened up those cruises for 2022. So yeah.
Okay. Now, chiropractic. Your kids, you got 5 kids, single mom, but you made it. You got a success story.
Yes.
You got a success story. Most people go through what you went through and quit. They get halfway and they turn around. Like, no, God, I'm good. I ain't gonna do this. But because of your perseverance, I think that's where your blessing came. You kept going. You didn't stop.
I think so. And also the support of my children. They were very encouraging. It's like they were very, they're like, don't you have to study? Don't you have school? Don't you have
look, guys, and they all know how to run the front office.
Right.
They all know, they all know how to run the front office.
They do.
So they've been a part of it. And but they accept you in though. And then it's like you're a family member too. Once you get there, you accept it in, and they expect you to be just as happy as they are. Mm-hmm. And if you're not happy, they want to know why. They want you to stay out to work. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can't work it out together as one big family.
Exactly, because it's hard not to be in each other's business and lives, and be in that close proximity of each other. Yeah, that's very difficult to do. But right now, congratulate you on your grandchild.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I have 10 grandkids right now and 1 great grandchild. So,
wow. And I'm not gonna tell nobody age, but she don't look at age either, so we ain't gonna go there. She just had a birthday, so happy belated birthday to her.
Thank you.
Now, Doc, I'm not gonna keep you long, but I tell people that the chiropractic table. And sometimes, like, in the psychiatrist's office, they got their couch. That chiropractic table sometimes is just like that couch. We've had people get a release on that table. And the first time it ever happened when I was there, I went to Doc, did I do something wrong? Did something happen? He said, no, that's just, it just hit that point and they released. They began to cry. And I was like, okay. I didn't know what was going on. But that happens all the time.
Yes, people. Yes, it does. People react differently to an adjustment. It's like once they get adjusted, a lot of times, a lot of tension, a lot of stress is released. A lot of spiritual anxieties get released. A lot of problems going on mentally get released. Emotional things get released. And sometimes you just start crying. Sometimes you just feel that overwhelming of joy, and of gratitude. And once you witness that you were an instrument in helping that to happen, that's like one of the most rewarding feelings. That's like one of God's give the best toy he could have given, best gift he could have given you for any reason, anything. That's just one of the best feelings, because you know what your purpose is, and you know you're fulfilling that purpose. I mean, you thank him for his grace and his mercy, but you also thank him for those victories that a lot of people receive.
Yeah.
Yes.
This has been a very powerful podcast. I want you guys to know she was nervous and then she wanted me to give her all the questions. I said, Doc, I don't know. I give you a couple, but after those couple, I don't know where we're going. But I think you've done an amazing job. Just like in the office, so how personal she is. She spoke from the heart about chiropractic and the things she believes in. And I thank you for taking time out of your schedule, Dr. Little, for being with us here on Straight Talk No Chaser. We are proud of you. We thank you for all the things you do in the community, all the people you help encourage, all the people you help strengthen, and all the people you just go out of your way to make sure they're happy. We thank you for that.
And I thank you. And
Yeah,
I thank you, Pastor Marcus, Dr. Picard.
Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it. You've been a joy. I knew you would be, but she was nervous. I saw her today. She was nervous, but I knew she'd be a joy here tonight. So, guys, we want to thank you again for joining us at Straight Talk No Chaser. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
I had to rush home and cook. So I'm like, let me hurry up. Let me hurry and get this done. I did. It was just warming up food. I stayed in the store longer than I was supposed to. Yeah.
You know what?
But
Doc,
that was fun.
You are so, she's always busy. We can get a text at 2, 3 in the morning. We don't know when she sleeps. We just know she's always there for us. Doc, tell the people the phone number to the office and give the address one more time. Okay. And you got a website, right? Give the website as well.
Yes. Back to Genesis website is www.atlchirocare.com.
Okay.
www.atlchirocare.com. And our address is 3812 Austell Road, Marietta, Georgia, 30008. And our phone number is 678-905-0799. And that again, 678-905-0799.
That's not your personal cell, is it?
My personal cell phone.
Don't give that out. Okay. we try and have her not do that, guys. Not because we don't love you, it's because her phone number is on every card she gives out. Her phone rings all the time, and we want her to get some rest at some point. So I'm not holding that back from you guys. I just want her to leave it at the office. Okay. The number going through there, and that's how you guys can reach us here back to Genesis Chiropractic. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you again, Doc. You guys, thanks for joining us here, Straight Talk No Chaser. Wow. Make sure you share, and tell somebody about a chiropractor in Marietta named Dr. Little, so they can come get treated. And stop thinking we just do backs and necks. We do it all. As my grandfather used to say, from the rooter to the tutor. You take care of it all. Doc, thanks again, guys. You guys be blessed. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
I love you too. I love you, Doc.
I love you too, Doc.